We have new details about the Charlie Kirk assassination. Apparently, he told other people that he was going to do this. 1.5 million people marched the streets of London this weekend, protesting immigration and other grievances. And Donald Trump blew up another drug boat. We have all these stories and so much more. This is your daily injection of political crack. I know you can't stop watching, so let's go. Starting with Kash Patel on Fox News today confirms Charlie Kirk's assassin had a text exchange with another individual stating he had the opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk and that he was going to do it.
His family has collectively told investigators that he subscribed to left-wing ideology, and even more so in these last couple of years. And he had a text message exchange, he the suspect, with another individual, in which he claimed that he had an opportunity to take out Charlie Kirk and he was going to do it.
Wild.
Because of his hatred for what Charlie stood for.
Those
are factually accurate investigatory findings by the FBI that we've handed over.
And the dude's pleading not guilty. I don't think that's going to work out very well for him.
Why didn't that person that he was talking to, why didn't that person say something?
Good question.
You know, our investigation is ongoing. That's a great question. And we don't have an answer on that just yet.
Why didn't he say anything? Because he wanted Charlie to die. That's why. Alleged Charlie Kirk assassin Tyler Robinson was in a romantic relationship with a transgender person. Kirk was shot while being asked a question about transgender violence. Bureau officials confirmed that Tyler was in a romantic relationship with the unnamed person, who is a male transitioning to female. The only reason why I think this matters is because I think this is actually why he did what he did. Charlie Kirk is known to be anti-trans or not very liked by the trans community because of things that he says. I think that just definitely has almost everything to do with the reason why he was shot. The roommate of Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin has been identified as 22-year-old Lance Twiggs, according to the Daily Mail. The development comes as Fox and the New York Post say Tyler Robinson was living with a transgender partner. It's unclear at the moment if Twiggs is the transgender partner that Fox and the NYPD are referring to. However, Twiggs' grandfather refused to deny the report. I don't want to comment on that. I'm not sure what his situation is exactly right now, the grandfather Jerry said. After he was with the police, he's been at his house and there's no way for us to contact him other than going over there. What I noticed with a lot of trans people is sometimes their families aren't as accepting of their choices as they would like to be, and they tend to cut off all family. This is just a pattern I've noticed with the majority of trans people that I'm familiar with in person. FBI Director Kash Patel confirms DNA from the towel wrapped around the suspected assassination weapon and from a screwdriver left on the UVU rooftop. Both match the suspect already in custody. Probably needed that screwdriver to get on the roof. Kash Patel now says Charlie Kirk assassin Tyler Robinson left behind a manifesto that was destroyed, but the FBI can forensically prove its existence. Charlie Kirk's assassin Tyler Robinson reportedly admitted his guilt in his Discord chat just 2 hours before he was turned in. Hey guys, I have bad news for you all. It was me at UVU yesterday. I'm sorry for all of this. I'm surrendering through a sheriff friend in a few moments. Thanks for all the good times and laughs. Wild. And I think we have this. Is this what's next? Yeah, Discord said that they investigated themselves and found nothing wrong. Discord accused of a cover-up for allegedly lying about Tyler Robinson's use of their platform in Charlie Kirk's assassination. Discord claims they found no evidence that Robinson promoted violence on their platform. A new report by the Washington Post, however, claims Robinson admitted to murdering Kirk on Discord. Discord says their own investigation found no evidence of that suspect planned this incident or promoted violence on Discord. Criminal if true. I agree. That's wild, dude. And one last thing I want to talk about with the Charlie Kirk thing. There's people, they're focusing on like these little things. They're saying that this guy had some sort of like gun in his shoulder because it was timed with the shot. There's another dude that was like adjusting his hat. I remember the first day people were freaking out about this. It's an important thing that we need to talk about. So like when these videos happen and like people are just trying to understand what's going on, so much information is flooding the internet at the same time and people are hyper focusing on the dumbest, littlest things that have nothing to do with reality. All it does is muddy the waters, and we got to be careful and not fall into these traps because people will be like, ooh, I think I see all these conspiracies start going around. And my lesson to you guys, if there's some sort of positive thing I could give to you that will make your life better, it is calm the fuck down and just wait. You just gotta wait when these things happen because people start hyper focusing on this, and even like days or weeks later people will still be doing this and the conspiracies will live on forever. Just don't get caught up in them. Oftentimes it's just the most like obvious thing, and the obvious thing here is that there's a trans community person does not like what Charlie Kirk was saying and fucking shot the guy. And also, finally, they actually completely demolished the area where he was shot, and they're going to rebuild a new one, which I think is a good thing to do. In other news, Trump blew up another drug boat. This morning, on my orders, U.S. military forces conducted a second kinetic strike against positively identified extraordinary violent drug trafficking cartels and narco-terrorists in the Southcom area of responsibility. The strike occurred while these confirmed narco-terrorists from Venezuela were in international waters transporting illegal narcotics, a deadly weapon poisoning Americans, headed to the U.S. These extremely violent drug trafficking cartels pose a threat to U.S. national security, foreign policy, and vital U.S. interests. The strike resulted in 3 male terrorists killed in action. No U.S. forces were harmed in this strike. Be warned! If you are transporting drugs that can kill Americans, we are hunting you. The illicit activities by these cartels have wrought devastating consequences on American communities for decades, killing millions of American citizens. No longer. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Fuck yeah.
But we have noticed that there are no ships in the ocean anymore. We're seeing that there's like no ships, when the first one we went, there were hundreds of boats. Now there are no boats. I wonder why. Meaning no drugs are coming.
They don't want to get
probably
fucking blown
some
up whether they're guilty or not. That's why. JD Vance was on Charlie Kirk's show as a guest host today. There's a lot of people not very happy about this. But whatever, it's a private show, dude. I mean, just because he's the vice president doesn't mean he can't go on his friend's show and say something after he fucking died.
The country of 330 million people, you can of course find one person of a given political persuasion justifying this or that or almost anything. But the data is clear. People on the left are much likelier to defend and celebrate political violence. This is not a both sides problem. If both sides have a problem, one side has a much bigger and malignant problem, and that is the truth we must be told.
There's an obvious difference, right? Like, it's been several days since Charlie Kirk's assassination. Nobody's burnt down any fucking cities. It's just a stark difference. And I know there's lefty people, they don't want to hear that. I'm just observing it from the outside. Oh, from the outside, I'm like, fucking, cops shoot somebody, the whole city burns. A highly political person gets assassinated, no city's being burned. And this is a very well-liked guy on that side.
That problem has terrible consequences. The leader of our party, Donald J. Trump, escaped an assassin's bullet by less than an inch.
Yeah.
Our House Majority Leader, Stephen Scalise, came within seconds of death by an assassin himself. And now, the most influential conservative activist in generations, our friend Charlie, has been murdered. This violence, it doesn't come from nowhere. Now, any political movement, violent or not violent, is a collection of forces. It's like a pyramid that stacks on top, one support on top of the other. That pyramid's got a foundation of donors, of activists, of journalists, now of social media influencers, and of course of politicians. Not every member of that pyramid would commit a murder. In fact, over 99%, I'm sure, would not. But by celebrating that murder, apologizing for it, and emphasizing not Charlie's innocence, but the fact that he said things some didn't like, even to the point of lying about what he actually said, many of these people are creating an environment where things like this are inevitably going to happen.
Facts, this is real, this is really happening. I've always been a fence sitter, bro, but it's hard to be a fucking fence sitter when it's staring you right in the fucking face. He didn't mention all the Teslas and shit getting burnt. Like, there was so much more shit that has happened this year. It's insane. The pattern is patterning, bro. One thing that is nice to see is we're seeing vigils all over the world. Here's one in Huntington Beach, California. That's a lot of fucking people. That's just California. Okay, that is a lot of people. Things are changing. Things been changing, but holy shit, things just got accelerated. Here's one in Texas. Here's one in Sydney, Australia. All right, legit. Look at that. In Australia, Canadians, Arizonians, Ohio, Japan. Global.
Editor's note here, that's the Korean flag stand, not the Japanese.
In other news, let's talk about what went down in the UK, specifically London this weekend. Apparently 110,000 people showed up marching in the streets. That is way fucking more than 100,000 people, but that's what the government be saying over in the UK. Look at that. Wow, that is so many people. So this is organized by Tommy Robinson, not to be confused with the other Robinson. Look at how many people there are. Wild. That does not look like 110,000 people. Yeah, it was more like 1.5 million plus. British patriots have had enough. So basically, there's a big movement that's building up in the UK, spearheaded by Tommy Robinson. He's kind of like Charlie Kirk, but in UK. Not as good of a guy. Not as good of a guy, but none of that matters because it's about the movement, right? Apparently, this guy has a history. Archie, my editor, he's from the UK. He hates this guy. He tells me all this gnarly stuff. But what matters most is that, like, 1.5 million people, or however many people this is, they don't give a shit. They showed up anyways because they're all fed up with the same issue, and that is basically the insane amount of refugees and illegals that are pouring into their country, transforming their country, and that they're not being heard, and they're even being told that, like, you know, there wasn't 1.5 million plus or 3 million or whatever they're saying. There's only 110K. That does not look like 110K. That looks so many more people. It mostly was not violent. I guess there was some scuffles with police, but it was mostly just a big march. Keir Starmer's not happy with it. British will not surrender its flag to those who wish to use it as a symbol of violence, fear, and division. They're using the flag because they want to keep their country the way it is. All this does when you deny and you don't not concede, but like compromise, because that's a lot of people. 1.5 million people plus showing up to that. That ain't just something that's going to go away. You can't just keep denying it. You have to concede on something and listen to these people, or else it's only going to get worse. This is where Keir Starmer is totally got it wrong. Like, I'm not saying he's a dumb guy, but he's got this totally wrong. This is going to blow up in his fucking face if he keeps, like, just not cooperating here. Like, they need to work something out. There needs to be some sort of compromise. Action needs to be taken. Change needs to happen. These are the people of the land. Cracker Barrel's back in the news. Yep, they put out this promotional video of them putting the sign back. So there you go. They're taking away the old sign and they're putting back up the old sign. They fucked up. They're going to put all the good stuff back up on the walls. Anyways, good for Cracker Barrel. You know, they made a comeback. There's this other wild story I wanted to talk about. I have not seen the clip yet, so we're going to watch this together for the first time. But there's a person named Brian Kilmeade. He endorses euthanizing homeless people. Involuntary lethal injection or something. Just kill them. What the fuck? Okay, hold up. See, this is where, like, as a righty, bro, we got psychos too. That's fucking crazy. Let's see if it's real.
Billions of dollars to mental health and the homeless population. A lot of them don't want to take the programs. A lot of them don't want to get the help that is necessary. You can't give them a choice. Either you take the resources that we're going to give you, or you decide that you're going to be locked up in jail. That's the way it has to be now.
Or involuntary lethal injection or something. Just kill them.
Yeah,
Wait, what the fuck? He actually, what the fuck? Oh my God, that guy's fucking psycho, dude. Whoa, he actually said that. Yo, we got psychos on the right too, okay? Just saying. As a righty, if some righty says crazy shit like this, I'm gonna fucking talk about it. This show's about fairness, honesty, and reality. And the reality is, there's psychos on all fucking sides. Us righties, we ain't no fucking saints. Apparently, he apologized for his comments about homeless people getting lethal injections this morning, saying so many homeless people deserve our empathy and compassion. Okay, so he was walking it back.
And it actually happened when we were together on Wednesday, Lawrence. In the morning, we were discussing the murder of Irina Saruska in Charlotte, North Carolina, and how to stop these kinds of attacks by homeless, mentally ill assailants, including institutionalizing or jailing such people so they cannot attack again. Now, during that discussion, I wrongly said they should get lethal injections. I apologize for that extremely callous remark. I'm obviously aware that not all mentally ill homeless people act as the perpetrator did in North Carolina, and that so many homeless people deserve our empathy and compassion.
Okay, I mean, at least he's apologizing. I still think that he believes that though, right? I mean, don't you? I hear people say that shit all the time in real life, but not like television hosts, right? So like, he obviously thinks that and he just let it slip and but that's crazy as fuck. We can't do that. Finally, I want to end this on an interesting note. I don't really talk about like these other political creators too much, but this one was interesting for me. Elon Musk has been tagging Jeff Bezos on Twitter, trying to get his attention on stuff that Hassan is saying on Twitch, which is a company that Jeff Bezos owns. You guys know Hassan on Twitch. He's, you know, he's a like super extreme lefty, right? Calls for violence and all the time, supports the terrorists. So much stuff has been documented on this guy. There's like people that just have like fucking whole file cabinets about this guy, right? But now Elon Musk is going after him. But Legal Mindset says is that, okay, it's actually performative what Elon Musk is doing on Twitter, because he already picked up the phone and called fucking Jeff Bezos, okay? Like, he's got his number. He's like, yo, this guy. So there's stuff already going on. I'm wondering what's going to happen with Hassan. It's going to be a crazy 2 weeks. Okay, let's watch this.
What's up here, Jeff Bezos? So Elon Musk saw this.
Yeah.
And he watched it.
Mm-hmm.
And he tagged Bezos. And you know he didn't just tag Bezos. People were making calls, right?
Yeah.
Because these guys, they're all these rich people, the ultra wealthy, they are like 1 degree of separation. They've met each other. They probably have each other's numbers. This was just to show he publicly called out Bezos.
Yeah.
I bet there was some sort of phone call here too.
Performative,
right?
100%. Signal.
So now you've got Bezos in this.
Yeah.
And Bezos, look, we can say what you want to say about Bezos, right? Say whatever you want to say about Bezos.
Okay.
But Bezos does like money, right?
Yeah, he does.
And Bezos wants his share, the company where most of his wealth is invested, to do well. He has his personal future. Even though he's been selling off stock, he's still the largest shareholder. He has the majority of his wealth still in those shares. He is not going to nuke his own value, right, for this. Yes, he did. He's no longer, so Bezos is no longer the CEO. He's the executive chair and largest shareholder.
But he still has the power to make some calls. Interesting times ahead, huh? I'm not a big deplatforming guy, but I would not feel bad if Hassan got banned. You know, like, he's done a lot of bad things, man. Anyways, that's all I got for today. See you guys.